Hi everybody, welcome to Puddinwood Avenue. My name is Bindi. Let's see what today's project entails, shall we? So today's project is how to make a little face scrubby in the round, one continuous circle. So you're going to need some cotton. This is Mayflower brand cotton. It's beautiful and soft, so it's going to be great for your face. I'm going to use a size 4mm clover hook. It's a tapered head hook. You're going to need a needle, a stitch marker, and a pair of scissors. Okay, so to start, we're going to use a magic circle. So a magic circle starts off pretty much the same as your slip knot. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a loop, like a little awareness ribbon. Oops, an awareness ribbon with the tail, the short side at the back. And we're going to put our hook through the loop, yarn over, and we're going to just pull that through, and that's going to create our slip knot, our magic circle. A slip knot would do exactly the same thing, but we just pull it up and cinch it up to our hook. So we're not going to do that today. We're going to learn how to do this magic circle. So yarn, make a loop, yarn through the hook, yarn over and through the loop, just like a slip knot, but to lock it in place, we're going to do a chain at the top. And so you've now got your loop that you're going to work into, and you're going to be able to tighten the circle in the middle really tight with this end at the end of your project. So what we're going to do now is we're going to use half double crochet stitches in this project. In the basics playlist, there is a video, I think it's video number 4, that shows you quite slowly how to do a half double crochet, but really they're quite simple. So what we're going to do is we're going to yarn over, and we're going to work in through that loop, catching that tail as well, capture our yarn and pull it through. You've got 3 loops on your hook, just like for a double crochet. Yarn over, and we're going to go through all 3 of those loops on the hook. So that's 1. Yarn over into the circle, capture your yarn, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Yarn over into the circle, capture your yarn, pull it through, yarn over, pull it through all 3, and we're going to do 8 of these into our magic circle. So we've got, here's our beginning. I'm going to use my stitch marker, and I'm going to put it into the top of that first stitch. Okay, I can put my hook down, it's okay. Okay, because we don't want to count that chain 1 as a stitch, okay, we don't want to count this one here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, yarn over through the loop, yarn over through all 3 loops, that's 4, yarn over, 5, yarn over, 6, yarn over, 7, yarn over, and 8. Now we're going to pull our tail a little bit, tighten up our circle, but before we join it, we're going to make sure that we actually have our 8 stitches. So never ever count the loop that's on your hook. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and this one is number 8. So we're going to slip stitch, take out our stitch marker, we're going to slip stitch into that first half double crochet that we did. Okay, now we've joined it, we can pull our tail so that our circle closes up nice and tightly. What a cute little button. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do 2 half double crochets into each stitch. So we're going to end up with 16 half double crochets at the end of this. Okay, so we're going to work into, let's count, where's my needle? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, with this particular pattern, you need to be careful. Normally we work straight back into that stitch where we slip stitched into. Let me just zoom in a little bit. Normally we work into the stitch here where we've just slip stitched into. In this particular pattern, I nearly said recipe, we're not going to work into that one, we're going to work into this one here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 into here. And so we're going to do 2 half double crochets into each one of those stitches. Okay, we'll go back out to where we were. And let's start. So we're not going to work back into this one, we're going to go into this one here. So yarn over into that first stitch, make sure you catch both V's of the stitch. Yarn over, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through all 3. And one more time, yarn over into that stitch. We're going to pull it through, 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull it through all 3. So we've got 2 stitches onto that. Now I'm going to use my stitch marker all the way through this. And so we're going to put it into our first stitch that we created. So the first stitch of our round, so we know what we're working in and what we're missing. So we've got 2. Okay, we're going to go into the second stitch now. We're going to do 2 half double crochets into this one as well. 1 and 2. I'm going to go 2 into this one. 1 and 2. How about I work it properly? I've just made the other video with puff stitches, and so I'm kind of puff stitched out at the moment. So 1, 2, so let's go. 1, let's complete the stitch. And 2. Into the next stitch. 1 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 and 2. And into the next stitch. 1 and 2. Okay, so before we slip stitch into our first stitch here, let's count. Make sure how many we were after. We were after 16 stitches, weren't we? Okay, so let's have a look. Don't count the loop on your hook, but count the V stitches. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and 16 is this one here. That's awesome. Okay, so that's round number 2, and we're going to take out our stitch marker. Let's go back out to where we were. Take out our stitch marker, and we're going to slip stitch into that very first half double crochet that we made. Okay, so that's round number 2. Round number 2, we're going to do 2 half double crochets into the first stitch. So not this one here, the first stitch. And then we're going to do 1 half double crochet into the next stitch. So we're doing round 3. So we're going to put our slip stitch into this one here. We know that's the last one we've got to work into. And we're going to do 2 into the next stitch. So yarn over, and we're going to do 2. So 2 half double crochets. So 1 and 2 and 1 in the next stitch. So 3. How about I wrap and do a half double crochet? That would be great. Okay, so we're going to go 2 into the first one here. 1 and 2 and 1 into the next stitch. 3. 2 into this stitch. 1, 2, and 1 into the next stitch, 2 into this one, 1, 2, 1 into this one. Now we do the right stitch, Bendy, get it together. So 2 into this one, 1, 2, 1 into here, 2 into this stitch, 1, 2, 1 into this stitch. So we're almost there at the end. And then we're going to 2 half double crochets into this stitch, 1, 2, 1 into this stitch, and we've got those 2 stitches left. That's great. So we're going to 2 into this one, 1, 2, and we're going to finish in this one here. And okay, so that's what our little face scrubby is looking like now. Now it should lay flat. If it's curling at all, you've got either the wrong number of stitches or your tension is too tight and you're pulling the stitches together. So make sure your tension is nice and loose. Make sure you've got the right stitch count around, and we're now going to do round 4. So I'm going to put my stitch marker into that stitch that we've just done. This time, round 4, we're going to do 2 half double crochets into that next stitch here, not the one we've just worked into, and we're going to go all the way around. Okay, let's start round 4. In round 4, we're going to do 2 half double crochets into that first stitch, 1, 2, and then we're going to do a double crochet in the next stitch and 1 half double crochet in the next stitch. So we're working half double crochets. So half double crochet into the next stitch and a half double crochet into the next stitch. So row 4, we're working in groups of 4. We're going to do 2 into the first stitch, 1, 2, and 1 in each of the next 2 stitches. So 3 and 4. 2 into the next stitch, 1, 2, 1 into the next one, 3, 1 into the next one, and 4. Okay, so we're going to do 2 into this stitch, 1, 2, 1 into this stitch, 3, and 1 into the next stitch, and 4. Some more yarn. Okay, 2 into the next stitch, 1. That's not right, Bendy, get it together. 2 into the next stitch, 1, 2, 1 into the next, and 1 half double crochet into the next, 3 and 4. 2 into the next stitch, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 2 into the next stitch, 1, 2, 3 and 4. 2 into the next stitch, 1, 2, 1 into the next stitch, 3, and 4 goes into that last stitch, 3 and 4. So there we go. Should be nice and flat. Okay, round number 5. We're going to go one more just to make it that little tiny bit bigger. So I'm going to put my stitch marker into the top of that last stitch that we just did, because that will be the last stitch that we work into. And this time we're going to increase and we're going to do 2 into the first stitch. 1, 2, and then we're going to do 3 half double crochets into each of the next 3 stitches. So row 5, we're working in groups of 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 2 into the next stitch. 1 and 2. 3, 4, 5. 2 into the next stitch. 1 and 2. 3, 4 and 5. Okay, keep going all the way around and I'll meet you over here in our stitch marker. Okay, so we're almost at the end. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 stitches left, so I know I've got the right number happening. Oh, didn't go through that last stitch. So we're going to go 2 into the next one. 1, 2, 3, 4, and my last stitch is going to go in where that stitch marker is, and 5. Now that we do a half double crochet. Now that's a pretty good size. However, I'm making it in this cream colour because I'm actually going to give it as a gift to a male. So I'm thinking that what I might do is I actually might do a 6th row just to make it a little bit bigger, because guys need to look after their skin too. So let's do another row. So that's row 5. Let's finish with row 6. So I'm going to put my stitch marker into that last stitch that I just created. And so this time we're on row 6. So we're going to do groups of 6. So 2 into the first stitch. 1, 2, and then we're going to do 4 half double crochets into the next 4 stitches. So 1, 2, so this will be 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's our first lot, and you can see that it's just continuously, so you can't see the join. It's nice and smooth, which is going to be great because it's going to be washing your face. You don't want anything that's going to be rough and bumpy. Okay, so 2 into the next one. 1, 2, and then 4 into each of the next stitches. So 1, 2, so this will be 3, 4, 5 and 6. 2 into the next one. 1 and 2. 3, 4, 5, 6. And so we're just going to continue all the way around until we get back to our stitch marker here. Okay, almost to the end. I've done that stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so I know that I'm in the right place. So 2 half double crochets into this one, and 1 half double crochet into the last 4. 1, so 1, 2, that's 3, that's 4, that's 5, and our stitch marker is the last stitch that we're going to go into, and 6. So there's 6 rows for a nice face scrubby, easy to use for a guy or girl or anybody else. They're great for gifts, they're eco-friendly, they're made of cotton, they're not going to hurt your face or your skin, really good to use just every day. So make a set of them, give them as gifts, use them for yourself, and we're going to now finish off by doing a slip stitch into the next stitch. Do a chain and pull our yarn through. We're going to snip our yarn, my scissors are a bit blunt, and pull that all the way through that stitch there. Okay, so what we're going to do is tie in our ends. So put your yarn through the eye of your needle. We're going to go through the stitch here at the back. It's hard when I'm looking through the camera. Yep. And we're going to go through the stitch here at the front. We're going to go into the stitches here at the back. Okay, so it kind of disguises our knot a little bit, and we're going to go back through some stitches. It doesn't matter where they are. I like to do a few and go past through at least 3 times so that it will not come out. It's okay if you actually split your yarn here, because that will help secure it a little bit. And one more time through. There are lots of different ways of sewing your ends in. I have to admit, I'm not particularly good at it. It's not one of my favourite things to do. Try not to pull it too tight. Okay, so there's that one, and I'm going to snip that end off. And then we'll do our middle. So yarn through the eye of the needle, and we're just going to go round and round our little circle here at the beginning. Now, if I wasn't so stubborn and I used a proper darning needle with a pointy end on it, I would find it a lot easier to get into these stitches. But for some reason I'm stuck on this bent hook, bent needle, and I love it. I'm not sure why. Okay, so pull it nice and tight. Go around again. It doesn't have to go all the way around. It just has to go in a few times, especially with the magic circle, because you've actually worked over that tail all the way through. Just let's do a couple of ply at a time, shall we? Again, if I actually used a darning needle, it would make it so much easier. So I'm just going to pull that nice and tight, and I'm going to give that a snip, turn him over, and there is our face scrubby, ready to go. Hope you've enjoyed today. Make a whole set, make one for every day of the week, pack them up and give them as presents with soap and face wash. They're great to have. Again, you can just throw them straight into the washing machine, use one every day. They're really easy to keep clean, they're eco-friendly, and I hope that you will try some of this. This is a really simple one. Thanks for joining me. Bye. Thanks again for watching. Click the like button if you like what you've seen today, and leave a comment below. Have I inspired you to have a go at your own project? Remember to click on the subscribe icon and also the notification bell so you'll know when I post my next video. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!